Hello everyone, this is John Myler from National University. I am conducting a master thesis on the APC Smart UPS and what kind of vulnerabilities exist on these systems. Uh, if they are not fully and properly secured, what kind of disastrous results that leaves the network in. So as you see given here, I have several models of UPS. They're set up with the default settings, pretty much packaged out of the box like this. And a lot of networks, they will have these set up and they'll plug them in and they'll network them and use them, but they won't bother to take the time to secure them or to complete the security on them. And in this case, default logon is part of it, but that's just the start of it. They also have Telnet and FTP, which are sniffable with Wireshark, and you can use that if you have standardized passwords, which are kind of common in the IT industry, unfortunately. This script will exploit that because it will take a standard login ID and password and you can shoot it out across a subnet or a list of IP addresses, and it will find the systems that have the login that you're looking for and the ID, and it will log in, it will prove that it can access it, and it also has a demonstration mode. So right here, this is called the APC kill switch, ACS for short, 1.0. It logs the systems that are still vulnerable with these default settings, and then it has a demonstration mode just right here on these two lines of code. If I remove these two remarks right here, it will actually shut off a UPS. This little utility, it's called UPS. If you tell that in, you type this UPS command, it has switches associated with it, and it will do all kinds of things. You could delete, delay, restart, and all sorts of things with this insecure protocol, Telnet, which really should be shut off. So I'm going to now give the demonstration. This script, when it runs, it will access this default file right here. I have several IP addresses here that are known bad IP addresses. They don't work, but these down here, these four, are good. And then we have also this report is the end result, and so you'll see the results of this scan, this pen test scan at near the end of this demonstration. So now I'm going to go to the directory where the script is at, which you could see right here is the same directory right here. I'm going to execute this right here, which activates this kickstart script. So right here you could see that it's asking for the default login. Whatever the login ID happens to be, if it's different than APC, then you would type that in right here. But right now we're going with the default because, as you saw me just log in, that's what's currently configured. This is the default password, so I'm going to go with that. This right here is asking for that group, that IP group text file. It's the default, so you just hit enter. And then last but not least, this is the list of IP addresses in exempt file, which we're not using, but if you ran this across an IP subnet, you could use an exemption file. And so here it's kicking off separate instances. This first one, the second, and the third are known bad IP addresses. So these sessions right here, as you could see, are not opening up anything. Now here's an actual session. It just logged in. Now you see these files populating. It logged in again. Here's the next one, logged in. And the third, fourth one, logged in. And now here's the FTP sessions. It opens them all up concurrently. So you only have to wait for a shorter amount of time for all of these to complete. and then it's actually grabbing a file, a config file, off of these UPSs and pulling it over to the computer to show that it can be done with this default login ID and password. And so now it's closing out the last session. So now I'm going to come over here, and of course the report any file is going to be populated now. And this is the results of the session. The 4 IPs that I mentioned all are vulnerable to this telnet vulnerability, and of course 4 IP addresses are also the same ones vulnerable to the FTP vulnerability. And this concludes this demonstration.